Welcoming Reverend Jennifer for today's lesson and meditation.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, our meditation is going to be a little different, and I didn't get a chance to let our music director know ahead of time, but I want him to participate in that, so no music required. So, prayer. Prayer is one of the biggest things with unity. I recently got several copies, actually 5 copies more than I ordered, but that's obviously in divine order. So there are 2 copies I have available if anybody would want them. Unity, Devoted to Practical Christianity, Volume 49, Issue 3. I might have talked about this a little before. I gave these out as gifts to my board for Christmas. And this is one of the issues of the Unity magazine by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And one of the things I want to bring up is there's great articles in here by Charles, Myrtle, and some of the other Unity teachers at that time. But one of the things they also publish in here are results from submissions to Silent Unity. And under the Control of Elements section, there is a reply from Las Cruces, New Mexico. God has heard our prayer for rain. Now this is in like 1936. On Wednesday, it came to Caballo Mountain Range. I know it is through your word that this blessing has come to us. If you could realize how parched and dry this cattle range was, you could understand how grateful we are to you for speaking the word for us. May God bless you with his richest blessings. It now looks like more rain was coming. And I know that it shall continue until the earth is well watered. And there was another one under prosperity from El Paso, Texas. I asked your prayers for the success of all my family, my mother, sister, husband, and myself. We were terribly discouraged at the time, but we have so much to be grateful for now. My sister secured a very good position. I was able to get a good position in government service at a salary I had not even hoped for. I've been working less than 2 months and have excellent prospects of an increase in salary in the near future. My mother got a position 2 weeks ago, which will pay her very well. My husband received notice last week that his salary has been increased. For all this, we praise God. So prayer works. Prayer works. And so I have a couple of extra copies of this if anybody would like one. See me after service. Prayer is necessary for freedom in our time. Charles Fillmore had written an article before the onset of World War II. It was coming, and it was very poignant to our times today. Prayer is necessary for freedom. We live in a moment when the outer world feels turbulent and our inner hearts ache for peace. Just this week, a controversial military operation in Venezuela. The U.S. administration has publicly threatened further intervention toward countries like Cuba, Colombia, Iran, Greenland, Mexico. And at home, protests are erupting across all 50 states after the death of a woman shot by federal agents in Minneapolis. These events, global and local, can make us feel overwhelmed, defenseless, and even disheartened. And yet, Charles Fillmore, writing from the precipice of another world war almost a century ago, reminds us of this essential truth. Peace is necessary. Prayer is necessary for freedom. Not freedom defined by borders or ballot counts, but freedom of consciousness. Fillmore taught that wars and violence, whether between nations or inside a city, start in the mind and heart before they become visible in armies or streets. When fear, anger, domination, and separation hold power in a community's thinking, conflict manifests outward. Charles said that prayer is the conscious alignment of our thinking with divine truth. It shifts us out of fear consciousness and into peace consciousness. Prayer as a spiritual authority. Here is what makes unity prayer different. It's not about wishing the world was different. It's about changing the level of consciousness from which we engage life. Prayer is not a retreat. Prayer is spiritual resistance, a refusal to internalize fear, hatred, and violence. It's not denial, it's clarity. Where the world says, fight fear with force, Spirit says, bring fear into the light of truth. During the gratitude section this morning, Kay had you center yourselves. And I think that's a first step in our consciousness, is more awareness. When we express gratitude, are you really feeling that? Or are you just expressing words that come out of your mouth automatically? Sometimes these replies are just automatic, because we've done them so many times over the years. Somebody sneezes, and what do you say? Bless you. Or Gesundheit in my household. Right? Someone says, how are you? Oh, I'm great. But do you really feel great? Are you really thinking about your reply, your response? So I encourage you to take that extra moment to really check in with yourself before you give that response. I'm not saying to keep someone waiting for 5 minutes while you figure out how you feel, but really express how you feel. Now, if you're not feeling very well, I don't think they want all the history of it, and I've had friends like that, you know, or, oh, my sister, I love my sister dearly. You ask her, compliment her on a shirt, and she will give you the whole, oh, I went down to here, and I got a 50% discount, it's buy one, get one free, and I just like your shirt. That's part of what elevating our consciousness is about. The words that we speak, the thoughts that we think, the actions that we take. Checking in with our mind and heart first before we move forward. And prayer is such an important part right now. We read in that magazine, and that was years ago. It is just as important today. If you want to call them testimonies, I'm sure Silent Unity's got rooms and rooms full of testimonies of how prayer has worked. Some folks that I talked to during the week, you know, I encourage them to let me know when they want to be put on the prayer list. But I have a couple that are just, well, I wasn't feeling very well, and so I called up Silent Unity. Yes. But it's our consciousness with our actions to elevate our consciousness. Prayer creates freedom because it creates that consciousness of peace and harmony and love. And when that prayer comes from your heart, it is turbo than when it just comes words out of your mouth. It is turbocharged when it comes from your heart. When it comes from that connection with Spirit. Because divine Spirit is operating through you all the time. And the power from which it comes through you is dependent on your consciousness. If you're remembering to engage it and turn that switch on, you are giving it more power. If you decide just to come from yourself, that power is still there. But the energy level and the effectiveness is minimalized greatly. We need to engage our heart, our soul, remember our innate wisdom when we put forth prayer. One of the best readings I found on Truth Unity one time was by Mary Rowland, and it was called A Drill in the Silence. It was about prayer. You can go on to Truth Unity and look that up. You can listen to her speaking this. You can download it for yourself. I have copies in those baskets over there. You can take one with you. And so today, meditation is going to be part of the prayer we are going to be doing. We are going to be going through a prayer practice. And I'm going to encourage the platform assistants in the future to do similar to what Kay did this morning with the gratitude, but also for when we go into our silence prayer, our peace prayer. Take a moment to center yourself. Focus on your heart and mind, focusing on peace when you listen to that prayer and the lighting of the Christ candle. I know that I need to make sure I am more present when I am doing my prayer and meditation work. So thanks for helping me with that exercise. So I invite you to now gently close your eyes and be still. Let us withdraw from the outer, from the headlines, from arguments, from images of violence, from fear for the future. Be still. Let your shoulders drop. Let the breath deepen. Let the body rest. We relax the body so the mind may become quiet. Silently affirm, I release the tensions of the world. I am willing to be still. I release the tensions of the world. I am willing to be still. Now gently turn your attention inward. Not to the problems, not to the conflict, but to the presence. Bring awareness to the center of your being, the quiet place within. This is drilling into the silence. Moving past surface thoughts, past opinions, past reactions. If thoughts come up about other things, things at home, concerns, fears, do not wrestle with them. I let go. I turn within. Now, step 3, meditation, sinking into the silence. Now we sink down into the silence. No words are necessary, just awareness. For in the silence, Spirit does the work. Rest in the awareness of one presence, one power. There is a deep stillness beneath the noise of the world. Let yourself rest there. Realization. From this deep inner stillness, truth now rises naturally. Not forced, not argued, but known. Silently or loud, allow these affirmations to emerge. The spirit of wisdom governs all affairs. I do not consent to fear, hatred, or violence in my consciousness. The Christ mind in me is calm, clear, and free. Divine order is present, even where human systems appear broken. Peace is active now, in me, through me, and beyond me. Mary Rowland reminds us, we do not make truth true, we recognize it. Rest in that recognition. And we end our prayer with thanksgiving, resting and trusting. Now we simply give thanks, not because all outer conditions are resolved, because Spirit is at work at the level of cause. Thank you, Infinite Presence, for the stillness that restores us, for the peace that holds us steady, for the freedom that begins with consciousness itself. We rest, we trust, we release. And so it is. And we rise from the silence, not burdened by the world, but anchored in truth. Amen.
You may notice some new faces up here. We have Dwight is out of town, so we have Jeff Bruner playing bass, first time at Unity. And, of course, Jeff G. And this is Patrick Haggerson. We met at a gathering over at the park down the street, across the street. He was playing this drum, and I had some percussion instruments, and we started playing together and found out that he has a long history with Unity, and invited him to come play here today and sing for us.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Good to be here. I was a faithful member of the Unity in Iowa and California. Kind of drifted away from it, but it's good to be back and be a part of the service. Yeah, I worked for many years in the field of substance abuse recovery. I worked at the Betty Ford Center for 22 years, and part of my work included working in Native America. And I worked in Canada, in the United States, Rosebud Reservation, Mexico, and South America. And I'm still working, even though I'm retired. But anyways, that's where I first heard this song, which I was surprised to hear at a powwow on the big drum with guys sitting around it. They started singing this song, Amazing Grace. And I was so surprised. And they said, yeah, you know, all Indian like this song. And I said, okay. So I looked up, I studied it, read about it, and it was adopted into the Native American church in Oklahoma in 1918. Yeah, so they've been playing it a long time. And that's what we're going to do, is play that and see where we go. All right? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Many dangers, toils, and snares we have already come. 'Twas grace that led us, saved us far, and grace will lead us on. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise. When we first began, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now